Hello to you. My name is Maria Kądzielska and you are watching Poland Daily Culture. Here with me in the studio is Olgierd Uziębło, sinologist. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
And we're not talking Chinese, even
为什
though
么？
我不知道，我不说汉语，
慢慢来。
我知道。But still, even though we're trying to learn more and more Chinese, it's a hard work.
You know what? It will be much easier if you learn Chinese in the Chinese surroundings. You know where to get Chinese surroundings in Warsaw?
That's a good question. And
Do you know?
Yes.
Where?
Wólka Kosowska.
Yes.
But I would need to move there.
Oh, well, there is a lot of houses there.
That's very interesting.
There's all Mroków, Janki, all the surrounding Wlka Kosowska, Złotokłos.
Okay, let's stop here.
All those
So for
places.
those who don't know what we're talking about, there is, I would say, even a village next to Warsaw, which is a huge shopping mall full of Chinese products and Chinese people, which they have, I would say right now, even almost a autonomic, like a small autonomy, because the police don't want to enter there.
No, it is a private area, so the police need to really
So
be
it's
careful.
a private area. So
Yes, this is a private area, so police, when they want to enter, they have to have a good reason for it.
Okay, but it's
they have good
massive,
lawyers.
it's big, they have good lawyers, and they are selling Chinese products, but altogether Asian products. How did it start?
Well, apparently it started in 1994 as a deal with Guangdong province. Guangdong province was the first province to open up in the times of Chinese reforms. First failed region of China that was open to foreigners was part of Guangdong province, and now it's an independent island, Hainan. It is part of China, but it's an independent province. But then Guangdong tried another place, Shenzhen, and then they decided to open up Guangdong for the foreign trade. And Guangdong was allowed to have its own economic policy, even foreign. So they decided to open up a kind of establishment like in the one that was created near Warsaw, that was supposed to promote products and wholesale products from China.
So just let's say, it took once again. So one of the province, Guangdong, had their own trade policy, and they were able to send money and people to create.
They were allowed to invest in a foreign country to promote products from their province.
I see, and that's how Wólka Kosowska started.
Yes.
And right now they developed to be...
Apparently it was later taken over by the officials and privatized on the basis and because of the existence of Chinese wholesale town, which was doing really well. There were also created other wholesale towns next to it, because most of the Asian people are not, even though they are competing against each other, they are smart enough to understand that if somebody comes to buy, they're not going to travel all over the place. But if all the possibilities are in one place, it will be better. So they opened a competing Vietnamese and Turkish town right next to it. And there's a giant set of many, many buildings which are wholesaling products from Asia, from all over Asia.
So you can buy Chinese tea there, Chinese food,
Well,
clothes.
Chinese tea and food are not wholesale that much. They're just two shops, but clothes, electronics, house equipment, toys, everything.
Everything which
Well,
is...
before the pandemic, I used to take my students for at least one trip to Wlka, just to take a look around. But that's when I had my legs all right, so I could walk. Now I'll think twice.
I would say that's is a good practice also for like buying things, product.
Yes.
In Chinese, it's very quick, isn't it? They like to be quick.
They like to speak quick, but if you want to bargain, that's going to take time.
I see. Well, with my experience of entering a Chinese restaurant for lunch, it's so quickly that you can just...
But in the restaurant, you don't bargain.
Agreed. I just say the numbers and then you get the product.
It's very effective. And if you are looking for good Chinese food, it's also a good place. because of all the Asian people. Now it's not mostly Chinese. There's Chinese, Vietnamese, and some other places as well. But there is a lot of restaurants that are catering to the local Asian people. So the food is real. It's real Chinese food, not Vietnamese Chinese food that is bought in Warsaw, which has nothing to do either with Vietnam or with China.
Well, at least it tastes for us good.
Well, it always tastes for us good, but it has nothing to do with Asia.
Okay, the other thing which, when it comes to food, is naicha, which I'm like personally a huge fan of, and it's very popular in China. More than it's like taking over coffee. What is naicha?
Milk tea.
Yeah, bubble tea. That's a different thing.
That's milk tea.
Yeah, milk tea. But
Milk tea is all over Asia, and actually there is a political thing.
why? The
Milk Tea
Alliance.
Alliance.
Yes, that's what I've heard about.
Yes, because a lot of countries that are in the alliance are using the milk tea, and they're using it in very different ways. And the milk tea you're mentioning is Zhengzhu Naicha,
Zhengzhu naicha.
or a pearl
Yeah,
milk tea, or a bubble tea as we call it. It's also called boba naicha, the bubble tea.
yeah, boba naicha.
And this is little balls of tapioca in a milk tea. And tea is supposed to be black tea with milk powder, and the tapioca is to be supposed to be small balls, well boiled, and you sip it through a straw. And now it comes of all possible tastes of balls, all of possible tastes of milk, and all of possible tastes of tea. So there's thousands of combinations. And it's very popular. It's invented in Taiwan, became popular in the 90s all over Asia, and broke through to Europe in early noughties. And then it's always also in Poland.
Yeah, right now we have few stores in Warsaw selling both.
Most of them are Vietnamese.
I say Vietnamese.
Yes.
Boba cha.
Boba cha is good. Unfortunately, I can't drink it because I can't drink milk anymore, but...
But it's a Chinese way of, because it's energizing, similar to coffee. So it's, I would say, a Chinese way of having their own product and trying to find, I would say, an alternative to...
Yes, and it's because tea is more traditional culture for China. It's not perceived as something outside. And about Milk Tea Alliance, all those countries are the ones that are opposing the communist China. So, countries. Hong Kong is supposed to be part of Milk Tea Alliance. It is a part of communist China, but it is rebelling against it. So Vietnam, Hong Kong, Taiwan are parts of the Milk Tea Alliance. You can include also Sute Cha. Sute Cha is traditional Mongolian salty milk tea.
That's even more interesting.
And Mongolia is also sometimes opposed to China, so it is part of a Milk Tea Alliance.
Sometimes tradition of drinking tea, especially with milk, can be a political sentence. Well, I would say go taste bubble tea, and maybe you will learn also more about Asian and Chinese politics. And thank you very much for watching Poland Daily Culture.